Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to day 8 of the advent of cyber. This one we're actually covering forensics, which I actually really enjoy forensics, so this is a fun one for me. I'll tell you guys before we get started, this one, I don't always read the story. This one I kind of read the story. I thought it was a little bit fun. It kind of gave you a reason for why this is happening, so that's good. But if you guys like this content, if you guys are having fun with the advent of cyber, hit that like button, hit that sub button, guys. Let's get started and go ahead and start using FTK, which is a very, very well-known free forensic toolkit. I say free, but you can buy different products for it too as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, here's a little scenario, right? Someone was throwing USBs down, a guy plugged it in, boom, they've got an attack, and now they're trying to figure out what happened. So first things first, if you're ever doing a forensics investigation, there's certain things you need to put in place to legally cover your own butt. If you've ever heard of CYA, it's cover your ass. It's something that I wholeheartedly believe in because you don't want to get in trouble or have a case dismissed because you made a mistake that could have been prevented, right? One of those is this right here. I see this a lot where people are starting to do forensics and they don't do something like this. Put it in a forensics bridge like this, okay? What it does is it prevents you from writing to it. So it prevents any tampering. Now, a lot of people, I talk about this stuff all the time, and a lot of people will say, oh, well, I won't edit it, obviously. Well, that's great. A lot of times when you're touching files, you don't realize you're editing it. Okay, you're changing data on it, which will change the actual hash of the image, which then automatically throws your case out the window. From that point on, nothing you say legally is right because you can't prove it. So make sure you're doing this, okay? Also, never work off the real one. Work off of a copy. Just kind of food for thought. So FTK Imager, we're going to go and start it up. They walk you through this. You can read it if you want, but I will tell you they don't walk you through really anything. They just kind of tell you how to use the interface, and that's it. So they do give you a couple of things, but we're going to go ahead and just go straight through the questions because this one, they, again, don't really walk you through much. Now, one thing to look at is use what you've learned today to analyze the contents of the USB drive and answer the questions. So that's what we're going to do. But somewhere in here, they tell you, and I don't know exactly where, but they tell you to open the second USB, okay? Make sure physical drive 2. Make sure you're actually doing physical drive 2 and not the first one, or none of this you won't find anything. Okay, so we go ahead and add physical drive here, and you can see it starts at physical drive 1. Make sure you go down to physical drive 2. If you do physical drive 1, you're not going to find what you're looking for, and you're going to get very frustrated. Okay, so now it's just like if you've ever used a file system, here you go. You go down through the directories. Now, where FTK and things like that work great, you can see these files with the little X's on them. As we scroll down, there's files with X's. Those are deleted files, meaning those files were on the drive and someone deleted them. Now, you've heard probably 100 times that when you delete a file, it doesn't actually disappear. That's true. This is what happens, okay? The files are still there until it gets enough data to overwrite. Okay, so sometimes the files are always there. So keep that in mind. Now, what is the malware C2 server? So I'm not going to dive too deep in all the different functionalities and things like that. We're just going to do the challenge because this is what we would be doing in real life, right? Like if we're in real life, we're not going to sit here and go, let's see, what is the malware C2? No, we're going to look at things that are suspicious. A directory that says do not open that's been deleted is very suspicious. So we open it up, double click it, and you'll see it'll actually go into it. Okay, so now we've got files that were directly deleted on here too. So crypto miner, prototype, a Python script, a zip file, merger contract, merger sabotage plan, stretch. Oh, secret chat. So let's look at secret chat. And here's another one. Okay, that one's encrypted. Here's a secret chat. Hey there, Jad, what's up? Just finalizing the malware C2 setup. Okay, so this is their chat where they're actually talking about setting this up. The server is good to go at mcgreedy-secret-c2.thm. Look at that. There's our C2 server right there. That easy. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make sure that you can actually see it. It's right here, so you guys probably can't see it. Let me just move my camera real quick. We'll move it down here. All right, so there you guys can see it. McGreedy secret c2.thm. There's the chat. So they're showing you right there, okay, we found the chat. So we're starting to see what's going on. Now, what's inside the file inside the deleted zip archive? So here's the deleted zip archive. We can click on it, and we can see what file's in it, okay? Now, I will tell you, if you try and extract this, because you can extract these or export them, whatever you want to say, and then you can actually try and open it. This is a password-protected file that he then says will be in he'll send in a different chat. He says that in the secret chat. So it's probably safe to say that it's probably in the Slack file. So if you really wanted to dive deep into this, you could probably get this file open, this tomato.exe, but we don't really need to because we know what it is. We know that in the chat, he said he's going to send the payload with this on it. So here you go. The second file that's in the deleted secret archive is the juicytomatoy.exe. Now, what's the flag hidden in one of the deleted PNG files? Now, this is where if you actually follow the steps up here, you'll have a little hint. They give you a little hint. Use Control F to search for specific text within a file. So they give you a hint there. So now we're going to go back. We're going to go to the root directory because there is no PNG files in here. So we go to the root directory, and we're looking for PNG files. So first one that we see, deleted PNG files, excuse me. The first one that we see is this wallpaper.png. Even though that's not the first one we saw, I just skipped over the first one we saw on accident. That's the second one we saw. The first one is portrait.png. And we click on it, and you can see the machine's a little slow, but you can see it kind of renders it in for you. Cool little portrait. Now, what you want to do here is change to hex mode. You could change to text mode, but they tell you specifically right here, use hex instead of text to avoid the FTK imager from crashing. So use hex. So we hop into hex. Now here's the hint. You can actually just search, Control F. Well, we know TryHackMe does all their flags like this. TryHackMe. Find. And then boom, you guys can't see it. I'll move my camera back up. All right, down here you see it. Now this text is very small, but you can see it. It starts TryHackMe byte level analysis. So we can just actually copy that, copy the text, and paste it right over here. And it's byte level analysis. So you can actually look on the byte level of this stuff in case you're afraid that someone's trying to exfil data on a USB or something like that. You can look at the byte level. Now, last one, what is the SHA-1 hash of the physical drive? So we're going to do this and then talk about it because it does take just a couple of seconds. So you go to the physical drive here, and again, they show you how to do this. You say verify the image. You want to do this first. Now, the reason you want to do this first is, again, I've talked about it. You need the hash, okay? A hash is like the signature of the file, of the drive. If that signature changes, if even 1 byte on this file changes, or on this drive changes, it will change the hash completely. So if you go into a court case, or if you go into a legal investigation, or any sort of an extermination of an employee or something like that, termination, whatever, anything you're going to do with an investigation, if you don't take this hash, you cannot prove that you didn't add that evidence in, right? So they can always fight that. They can always say that. Now, if this hash changes, then they can say that you changed it, right? So you take this hash first, and then when you're done, right, they should be able to take the original copy and that hash that you did and compare and say, okay, the file system's still the same. That way, when they call another expert in to try and reboot, whatever you want to say, what you're saying, rebuttal what you're saying, that expert can't hide the evidence because the evidence is still intact. They can't say, well, we didn't find that because it's still there. We can prove it. We can take that same original copy and find that same evidence again for you over and over and over because we're using a copy. Now, that's why it's so important that you take the hash first. And also, it's important that the hash does not change. If the hash changes, your entire case is out of the window. So always take a copy. Don't ever work on the original. So there's the hash, the SHA-1 hash right there. So that is your integrity. That proves nothing's changed and your image is still good. So hopefully you guys like this. This was an easy one. This is a fun one. And FTK Imager is a lot of fun. So just mess with it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below and have a good day.